Can you beat Dishonored without any weapons? The Dishonored series has a big focus on the player choosing the way they play the game, from killing everyone you encounter to sneaking and non-lethal weapons like sleep darts. But can you win without any weapons at all? Let's go over the rules. I cannot use swords, guns, the crossbow, grenades, or spring razors. All walls of light are essentially weapons, so I can also not use rewired tools to make them zap enemies instead. Same for gun towers. My only means of combat are choking opponents out and using the powers the outsider gives me. Glitches and exploits are fair play, as the ones I'm going to use actually make this more fun, and if you want to see this done glitchless though, I could try that. So make sure to leave a comment if you want to see that in the future. Now, as you might know, I ran the any % speedrun category of this game, so pretty much all of the glitches we'll be using are used in that run. I will go over explaining them a bit along the way, just to not leave you completely confused as to what is even happening. Also, as with my Pokemon challenge runs, I write the script as I play through the game, so this part has been written before I start. This is the perfect time for you to guess in the comments down below whether I can do this or not, and while you're down there, leave a like. Let's go! We start off in the intro cutscene as Corvo Attano, the Lord Protector, arriving back home to Dunwall from an errand the Empress had sent us on. We take a water elevator with our boat and finally get control of our character. I'm just gonna say real quick, steampunk is probably one of my favorite genres in gaming ever, so these kind of contraptions are always something nice to me. Before we continue on though, I want to quickly explain one exploit we will be using eventually, since this is where the speedrun would use it for the first time. Walls in this game are stacks of ledges, as it seems, and one of the mechanics of the game is vaulting over ledges. Now, if you do it right and have enough frame rate, you can vault up an entire wall. This is called an elevator glitch in the speedrun community. We won't be overusing this, but I know of at least one specific use where I want to be using it. Oh, and also you can avoid fall damage by jumping on top of allied NPCs' heads. If you're crouching while doing that, you don't even make them angry. Either way, the daughter of the Empress, and spoilers, also Corvo's daughter, Emily, welcomes us on the bridge ahead and wants to play hide and seek with us. Now, that would usually be used as a stealth tutorial, but I don't really need that, so we just go on to give a letter to the Empress. Now, normally this is where the tutorial combat begins, but since that would be using weapons, we can fight back. Nicely enough though, the game has a failsafe here, where if you lose enough health that you would die, the enemies just despawn. So we somehow fought them off by just standing there. Doubt comes in, kills the Empress, and abducts Emily. We get framed for the murder and knocked out by a guard. We wake up in Coldridge Prison, being tortured into signing a confession by the Spy Master and the High Overseer who orchestrated all of this. We refuse and get thrown back into our cell to wait for our execution the next day. In our cell, we get delivered a meal from a friend, which is a loaf of bread and a letter getting us instructions on how to escape, and our cell key. Now, seeing as I said glitches are fair play, we have a very short way out of here. Normally you'd sneak your way around the prison, get a bomb and blow up a gate to leave. As this is mainly done without actually using weapons anyway though, I feel like I can skip this here. We can do that in the glitchless run if that is requested highly enough. So, speedrun strats. We clip through the gate to the right of our cell by spamming jump from a specific point and elevator up the wall next to it. ending up out of bounds up on top of the prison, where we can just run over to where we would usually blow up the gate and jump into the water without having to bother with the prison. We swim over to the sewer entrance and continue onwards. Now normally we would go pick up our weapons in the sewers now, but since we won't use them, but you normally have to pick them up, I opt to use a speedrun route again. I swear this is the last time we're skipping content like this. But it really makes no difference, as you can just straight up run past the guards positioned at the end of the level anyway. So this is really just so I don't even have weapons to use throughout the game. The fun part is still ahead of us, don't worry. So we elevator up through the ceiling of the sewers and run through the out of bounds area. On the way we pass these two gentlemen, who just stand there for reasons, and use the print key to tank the frame rate of the game so we can make a jump up a wall by spamming jump while crouched next to a ledge. It's a weird trick, either way we clip back in at the end of the sewer and meet Samuel the boatman outside. He takes us to the Hound Pits pub, where the loyalist conspiracy to take down the now Lord Regent, the former spy master, has their hub. We enter the pub and listen to Admiral Havelock and Lord Pendleton before we meet Piero, the guy who would make our equipment if we were to use any through this playthrough. I do pick up some money along the way just to make sure we can buy mana potions later and help Piero out with his machinery. He needed a whale oil tank installed, the main power source of this world, that is prone to exploding on impact. After we're done, he gives us the mask we will wear throughout our missions, and we head to sleep. We wake up in a weird void with floating platforms and meet the Outsider, who gives us his mark. This mark allows us to use supernatural abilities. Now, a lot of people have done this game as a no powers run, where you never use any of the powers given to you by the Outsider. This level is basically the only one you can't possibly do without blinking though. Blink is a very fast movement that can be used to get to parts of the map you wouldn't usually be able to jump to, like the platforms in this level. The Outsider meets us halfway through and gives us the Heart of a Living Thing, which, spoilers, is basically the Empress's heart, and which shows us locations of runes which are used to upgrade our powers, and bone charms that give us small advantages. At the end of the level we find a rune and see our options for upgrades. From this set of upgrades I'm mostly looking towards agility for getting around easier, upgrading blink for the same reason, and time bend, especially the upgraded one that stops time completely, since that will help a lot with assassinations. Other than that, maybe the Devouring Swarm, since that would literally replace having a weapon, but then again that would be pretty cheap. Either way, we get sent back to our bed and wake up in the real world. I pick up all of the money and bone charms around our room, cause some might come in handy, track down a rune completely out of the way, and from Piero's shop, where we also buy the upgrade for carrying more active bone charms and as many mana potions as we can carry. Then we talk to Havelock, who tells us we need to get rid of the High Overseer. I decide to upgrade agility so I can double jump and equip some bone charms. On our way out, Callista stops us to tell us that her uncle, Jeff Kernow, the guy who was with us on the boat earlier in the intro, was gonna get poisoned by Campbell and we should rescue him. Should be doable, so we set off towards our first mission on Samuel's boat. We blink on top of a building to dodge the first wall of light and try to sneak past the guards in the second one. That fails, so I go for the speedrun strat of just run like hell. I pick up a rune along the way to be able to get bend time 1. We choke out the guard next to Overseer Martin, one of our loyalists, who we are supposed to free. We let him out of his shackles and go on towards killing Campbell and saving Kernow. Upon entering the conference room, we take the rune off the wall, switch the poisoned glass to the Overseer's side, and hide on top of the conveniently placed walkway, I guess, on the wall? No idea what that stuff actually is, but we sit there until Campbell poisons himself. Then we bend time, choke out Kernow, and take him out to a safe place. I always found it hilarious that a dumpster outside is considered a safe place. Either way, I go to end the mission and totally forgot to take Campbell's little black book, which is an essential part of learning who else to kill in the future. So we go back in, find the thing, and leave. I could have looked for other runes, but honestly, with everything being on high alert, that's kinda hard to do. We will still get a bunch more later, most probably, so it doesn't really matter. Back at the Hound Pits, we report to Havelock and go to sleep. The next morning we stock up on mana potions, find Havelock telling us about Weepers, basically people that have been zombified of sorts by the plague, that are in the sewers under the pub. We choke them out and throw them in the water and find 2 runes down there as well. I could afford Blink 2 by now, but I'd rather get Bend Time 2 first, and that's 8 runes, so we talk to Havelock again and get the order to go to the Golden Cat, basically a brothel, to kill the brothers of Lord Pennell. So off we go. Sam drops us at the same spot as last time, and we sneak through, grabbing a few coins and potions along the way, choke out a guy on a balcony, bend time to deactivate the wall of light, and run for the door to the Golden Cat. We blink into the nearest building, pick up a rune, and take the speedrun route up to where they keep Emily. Then we get 2 more runes around the place, and the key from the old hag that runs the place. Then we bend time to get into the first Pendleton's room, choke him out, raise alarm doing so, grab a few potions, and carry him out. Somewhere above an alleyway, I decide we're high enough to make his fall fatal, so I drop him, and that's half of the mission done. So there is 2 possible locations for the brothers to be in the Golden Cat, and this constellation is what we call bad luck in a speedrun, as the second brother is down in the cellar in a steam room. So we bend time again to get down undetected and decide to use the conveniently placed crank in the control room to cook him alive. We bend time again to get back up and flee through the back entrance where Emily is waiting for us already, and literally teleports after we unlock the door. Emily is of course the ultimate speedrunner here, as she is always faster than you getting to Samuel's boat. Either way, we make our way back to Sam and bring Emily to the Hound Pits. Havelock congratulates us on the successful mission, and Pendleton gives us his thoughts on killing his brothers. Then Havelock gives us our next target, the royal physician Sokolov. We stock up on mana potions as much as our money allows us, and set off towards Coldwind Bridge. We try choking out the guards, but get seen on the first one already, which means I'll go with the speedrun strat, cause it's the easiest way to get to the other side of this building. So far we haven't discussed this, but I'll go over it real quick. Leaning is broken in this game, so if you run sideways in the same direction you're leaning, you can clip your view through a solid wall or object. Combined with the blink ability, you can teleport through walls. We call this slip clip. So I slip clip through the wall and blink up on a balcony to hide from the guards that spawned in. Then we go around the building to get a rune and go to the next area that has the actual bridge. We blink up on a balcony again, lean clip into a safe to get another rune cause I was too lazy to get the combination, and get bend time 2. We immediately get to use it while getting another rune, and the outsider decides to talk to us for a bit upon picking up that one. I try for the speedrun route since that's the easiest way through the bridge and get zapped off, so I have to take a different route. Since the guards are pretty annoying, I stop time and bomb them with a whale oil tech. I use up most of my mana, so I can only blink once at a time anymore, but I get over to the other side of the bridge, turn off the lights on the water so Sam can come pick us up, and go onwards to the next area where we pick up another rune and blink over a wall of light to get to the area that actually has Sokolov. We sneak up on his balcony, blink behind him and choke him out. There is another rune right there, and we upgrade to blink 2 for more reach. Then we go down to Sam, where we have a flash of white light, which happens for some reason if you pick up all the collectibles in this mission. Specifically, no idea why, and it doesn't happen on any other mission, but anyway, we return to the Hound Pits pub. On the way, Sam tells us that Sokolov will be held in the kennels, where he might wake up in dog poop, but that he probably has woken up worse places, and that we probably all have at that. I have no idea what Sam's daily life is like, but dude, what the fuck. We go to sleep and a very creepy Emily wakes us up the next morning. We get Sokolov to tell us the name of our next target, who is one of the 3 Boyle sisters. Which one is for us to find out. Before leaving for their masked ball tonight, we go for Piero's shop, but he's upstairs looking through the lock of the bathroom. We stock up on mana potions and leave for the Boyle estate. The way is pretty easy, as we can just use the speedrun strat of blinking up on a lamppost and into the yard. We then climb up on the balcony and enter a bedroom, where I decide to quick save. Right outside the door to the left, there is one of the Boyles heading downstairs, so I decide to grab her for now. Which Boyle is the one you should kill is random every time you play the mission. And the RNG is set as you enter the building. Now, my quick save was before the RNG was set, so we can now basically save scum our way through this. There is 2 distinct outcomes I'm going for. One, the Boyle right outside the door ends up triggering the success of the mission with one of the notes that are for some reason placed outside of bounds up on this part of the wall. If that happens, we can just leave again. This is what the speedrun does. Now, I, however, had the luck of the real note that tells you which Boyle is correct to spawn in the room next door. So I leave the wrong Boyle unconscious, go for the correct Boyle wearing black downstairs. Now up here is off limits for party guests, so I stop time and blink downstairs so the guards don't want to kill me. And choke out the correct Boyle in a corner where nobody can see. I drop her off the chandelier, which breaks her neck, and get the hell out of there. Back at the Hound Pits, we find a free rune from the Boyle family, apparently, and I decide to keep it, just in case we actually want to learn anything else. Then we speak to Pendleton and Havelock and get told to go to Dunwall Tower to get rid of the Lord Regent. Now this should be easy, as the old any % speedrun route doesn't use any weapons. So we stock up on mana potions and off we go. At the tower we could blink up over here, but I decide to use the elevator instead, since it really doesn't matter much. We blink our way to the entrance, get up to the Lord Regent's bedroom, and get an audio recording from his safe by leaning and clipping in to the safe again, mostly because I was too lazy to get the code. Then we blink up to the propaganda central and broadcast the Lord Regent's confession of killing the Empress to the entire nation. Then we blink back out and leave for the Hound Pits. Havelock and Pendleton have a drink with us, and we pass out from poison they put in our drink when we try to go to sleep. As we wake up, Sam tells us he made sure that we only got half the dose, so we should survive, and ships us off to the flooded district. Dowd's assassins find us floating there and take us to him. He throws the equipment we never got in this run into a pit and us into a hole. Weirdly enough, we get to keep the mask. Either way, we get out. I miss a jump that is really easy once, cause I'm great at this game. And next, we need to get a key from Dowd to be able to continue onwards. I haven't played this part in a while, cause the speedrun just skips this out of bounds. But we get up to Dowd's office, steal a key, find out he's immune to bend time, and run away from the fight, since there is no way I can beat Dowd without weapons after he already noticed me. The next part is really easy, so we just blink through and get out of the flooded district. This next area is again one that the speedrun skips out of bounds, so again, a route I haven't done in a while. But we break a barricade by sliding at it, go through the sewer avoiding a few river crusts on the way, and arrive back at the Hound Pit. There we grab a note that tells us that Emily is at King Sparrow Island, get up to Emily's tower, call Sam, and leave for the final mission. Sam says his goodbyes and we blink our way through, including one YOLO double blink across a yard. Then we take an actual elevator up to the final scene. Now you can easily skip all guards with the route you see me taking right now, and all you really have to do from here is take the key and open Emily's door. But where's the fun in that? Havelock already killed all of his conspirators, so we stop time, blink behind him, choke him out, take him all the way up to the top of the tower, I made sure you can't go any higher, and drop him into nothingness. Just to clean up a bit, we also take Pendleton and Martin and drop them off the side as well. And then we take the key, open the door, and we have successfully beaten Dishonored without using a weapon. That was sure a fun run. If you want to see this challenge in the story DLCs with Doubt, and maybe in the sequels, Dishonored 2 and Dishonored Death of the Outsider as well, let me know in the comments down below. I don't speedrun those, and the latter two aren't as broken as this game, so I'd probably do those glitchless anyway. Also, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe and activate notifications to never miss an upload, and make sure to check out the rest of my content. My name is WWE Dadman, and I'll see you in the next one.